Oh, well, the way we look at each other.
We're not talking about me looking at you. I'm trying to figure out where I think I know you from.
But we know each other now. And that's where I'm saying we have the opportunity.
Okay, so where do you think you are now where this might be?
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book 91. We're talking to you guys obviously about Ready to Love, and we're having a deeper look at some certain scenes that happen within the show. One of them is Eunik and Red and Marvin. It's really interesting because Eunik has two men that are quite similar. In fact, they're different, but they're similar, right? In the sense of, we have Red, who is a DJ, and then we have obviously Marvin, who's a sex dominant person, right? And yet she decides to be disrespectful to Red and call his job a thought job. And then says to Marvin, who actually does a sex dominating with women, turns his house into a dungeon and says, I'm intrigued by that. And I want to ask this question. Why is it that she decided to have a different response to two men? And the reality of the situation, it always comes down to attractiveness. How attracted are you to somebody? That can be how they package themselves, but that oftentimes isn't the predominant weight. The weight is often on you, the individual, Eunik, and what she sees as a level of attractiveness from each individual person, and what she's then willing to take from those particular persons. But we're going to go deeper. I'm going to show you some scenes. I'm going to go deeper. I'm going to break it down. I took some time out. I wanted to really get deep with each scene and give you something a little bit different. So if you're new to the channel, you like it, you share, you subscribe, you click on that bell button notification, the uploads. And for those of you who are returnees, really know what it is, baby, you got the minerals. Let me try and break this down as best as possible because there were some interesting scenes, okay? There was some body language stuff on the first and foremost. I want to just watch this body language here. Look at her shoulder. Look at her angle. Look at the way she is sitting towards him. We'll play a little bit of clip.
Perfect timing.
You find out a lot about yourself through a divorce. I'm a family dude, so I want to get.
Now, notice the lean and the way away from him that she learned. She's looking down predominantly amount of the time as well, right? And actually, if you watch the rest of the clip, you'll see that same thing. But I'm going to show you where she's talking to Marvin. It's a completely different energy that we get from her. Like, I mean, completely. Like, it's different, right? And she's sitting in a similar position as she was with him. Let's just have a look.
I'm an erotic author.
Pause. Look how she's sitting in her seat. Is she leaning away? Right? Now she's about to get told some news. Listen.
Different. Yeah.
Say what now? That throws me all the way off.
Now she says it throws her all the way off, but her next response is, but I'm intrigued. Why is it that someone gets called a thought job for their job, which is a DJ, and then his job, who is actually a sex dominant person, turns his house into a dungeon? Why is that you're intrigued by that and you're willing to play along with that? Well, body language straight away shows us that she's interested in Marvin compared to how she was interested in Red. In fact, she was literally trying to run away from Red. Like she had literally, her body was like that. She was trying to run away from Red. And the reality of the reason being, again, is because she wasn't necessarily attractive. But I think there's a second part to play that is a different variable as to why this particular interaction between herself and Marvin and Red is so different. And I think that instant component is the idea that she actually knows him before him. She said, I don't know. I know you from somewhere, and I'm not sure where I know you from, but I know you from somewhere. You know, sometimes people know you from somewhere and they know of you from somewhere, and sometimes that plays a role. Let's have a look.
Producer. I'm always on the go. I work long hours.
Oh, let me go slightly back.
What I had was, I know you from somewhere.
I think I've met Red before. And in the industry that I'm in, it's not far-fetched that.
Now, it seems like she was on the defensive from the very, very beginning, because you can see, again, she leans away again. She never does that with Marvin. When she's talking to Marvin, the other gentleman who's tall, who's handsome, she's never, she isn't doing that with Marvin. Why? She's sitting upright. And even though she was shocked by what his job was, she doesn't change her body language and start leaning away from him because she's interested in him. But when it comes to Red, oh, no, baby, she gonna let you know, I got a problem. And I think the reason might be because she knows some history beyond, I think I know you. I think she may know some history of what some of his past behaviors are, because the conversation was then elicited because he said about, oh, by the way, I'm a family man, I just divorced and I'm trying to be all this. So it may be that what she's heard is contravening to what she's actually seen and heard about him beforehand, right? He's a well-known DJ. She's in the media production industry. There's probably a lot of rumors that fly around, and maybe that's part of the reason why she had such an adverse reaction to him. And I want to go back to this part where she calls it a thought job. Okay, I want to bring that clip up as well, because we're going to bring this up, right? Because what she was trying to do was really cancel this conversation, really and truly, right?
Not a family man.
Because you have a thought job.
I don't want to put it like that.
Because you have a thought job.
Grace.
Now, listen, let me be honest with you. You call me, if someone said to me, I'm a YouTuber and I have a thought job, I probably would just take it as a joke. You know what I mean? Like, but it depends on the tone and depends on the reception I'm getting all throughout the conversation. If I feel like you've been disrespecting me and throwing little jabs all the way through the conversation, I'm gonna read it as that. But if it's like we've been bantering and joking, you tell me, oh, so you got a little fuck job, and I'm gonna be like, well, what are you trying to say? Like, I'm gonna throw it back because of the energy I'm getting. But if you throw it in a way, and remember, she's already leaning away. It sounds like she really want to be in this conversation, and it sounds like she's really trying to end this conversation too. Like, you know, when women just want to be out of a situation, they may sometimes employ some self-destructive tendencies and blow it all up in your face. You know what I mean? By saying the thought job, it might be taken offensively. And you saw his body language shift, right? As soon as he thought job, his whole body shifted.
When Eunik said that, I was kind of offended. I'm a DJ, I'm a comedian. Sometimes women are not comfortable with groupies, fans, so.
Like, and here is also the reason why it's disrespectful, because if he said he was a musician, you would never call it a thought job. Now, there are women out here who are groupies. If he was a basketball player, there are groupies. Would you have called their job a thought job? You wouldn't have called their job a thought job. Right now, of course, they have different reputations, but the reputations are pretty similar when it comes to women. Basketball players, soccer players, NFL players, they all have groupies. So why is it that you labeled his DJing job as a thought job? You didn't have respect for him in the first place. You didn't have respect for him, right? And that's okay. I mean, it's not okay, actually. It's disrespectful. And he took offense to it. He was offended by that as well. And so if she was feeling him or she didn't like him, she didn't show any good energy towards that. What I would say is having a way that is self-destructive to try and get out of a scenario can be a way that you're going to scenarios. If I choose here to be destructive in this particular aspect, more than likely I'm going to be destructive in other areas. You start as you mean to go on. And, you know, your behavior usually is patterned. How you behave here, how you do something here is usually how you do something over here. So if you're being destructive over here, more than likely you're going to be destructive on the left-hand side too. Bar that, it's a game show, it's a competition, it's a dating show, but you have to understand that the men talk. So how you treat him is going to fall onto the other men. Baby, it's not wise, it's not smart, right? It wasn't wise, it wasn't smart at all to do such a thing, right? And it turned him off and he's no longer interested in that as well, right? But the way she ended it, I knew she didn't want to be there. She didn't want to be in that situation with him. And let me show you why she didn't want to be in a relationship with him, right? Listen to what she says here, right?
Sure, goodness gracious.
Well, I mean, we can leave it at thought job. So
she said we can leave it at thought job. Basically, let's be done with this conversation. Let's be out. We good. We're going to leave it there. Why? She didn't even think about changing it after, because really and truly, she's not interested in changing it because that's not how she wants to see you. She wants to see you as thought job. The thought job makes it easier to leave you, makes it easier to say, I don't need this conversation, makes it easier to be like, actually, I don't need to, try hard to get this conversation back on course, because you should get the message, I'm not interested, right? I'm not down for it. But let's quickly round it up and go to this last point. I don't want to spend too much time here. And break
get to choose. I'm gonna jump on some horses.
Oh,
I'm
really?
a country girl.
Oh, okay.
I love horses.
You see that smile? You see how she did her hair? You see how she nodded her head?
Black women in college.
You see how she turned her body? Listen, hold on a minute now, baby. Hold on a minute now, baby. You notice how she turned her body to face him? That should tell you positively that she's very much intrigued, attracted, and interested in a brother like him. Okay. Oh, yeah. So let's keep that above. Let's keep that real. She's definitely intrigued and interested in him. Watch it again.
Cowboy boots and the cowboy had the little outfits on. I'm like,
You know what? I got some. What color?
You see how she's engaging. I got some. She's engaging. She's active. She's alive. Brothers, pay attention. Okay, these little intricacies mean a lot, man. They say a lot in these instances. Now, what I would say also is, like I said, is that Red tried to do something. Red tried to be cocky about the fact that, hey, you know, I think, you know, I know you like me and I like you. And she was like, wait, what? Nothing turns a girl off more than not being attracted to you in the first place, and you saying that you feel that. You saying cockily that they're attracted to you. It hurts their ego. Can I be honest with you? Yeah, it hurts their ego. Let's just keep it real. A girl who's not attracted to you, finding out that a brother who thinks that she's attracted to him and saying it out loud to her is the worst thing to her ego. She gonna definitely fire you. She don't like that stuff. Okay? But anyway, like, share, subscribe on that particular video. Let me know your thoughts down below, okay? But I think we well knocked that one out the park. I'm looking forward to seeing more between